Ah. So I'm waiting for people to log on, and then I will start. So let people log on a bit, and then I'll start. I know at the moment I'm fixing myself up. Okay. So I think someone in Nong who's okay, Nonga's logged in. Sorry, just waiting for the network. I'm hoping it doesn't cut today. I'm hoping it doesn't cut. I'm hoping my net doesn't cut at all. And I wait for people to log in. Can you guys hear the noise? I hope you can't hear the noise. I'm trying to, the kids are outside having fun, so I'm trying not to disturb. Okay, Nong is on the okay. People not logged in yet. So I'm waiting for people to log in yet. And once they've logged in, then we can start. So let me just share the link. Sorry, I'm not looking down. I'm trying to share the link. So just bear with me. Okay. A few people are logging in now. So once I get more people, then I'll start the show. So just for those who've logged in, good afternoon to you all and happy Easter. As you know, April is a month of reflection. It's a month of gratefulness. It's a month of gratitude. As we all know, our Lord, our Savior, this time when, he was betrayed and, he died for our sins. So April is a very special month for me, but at the same time, it's a month that's become very sad for me. And today I'm trying to be strong, but we have to go on with the show. So for those who are joining for the first time, my name is Maria, and I'm an experienced expert careers advisor. And what does a experienced expert careers advisor mean? I work in schools and I help young people. I advise, support, guide, and empower them to make decisions about their future, and this could be to do with any jobs. So my brain has so many jobs in my head. So I know a lot of jobs due to the students I work with. And today's I'm going to be talking to Auntie Maureen and her team in Zambia. It's about Mapalo Sitters and Cares Zambia Limited. I think it's the only service in Zambia at the moment, because I've researched, and I think it's the only one that provide caregivers and housekeepers to people like myself. So let's say like when I go on holiday, I can use Mapalo Sitter caregivers to help me with the housekeeper, to look after my children. At the same time, if you have elderly parents, elderly family, people with disability or mental health, Mapalo Sitter caregivers is the service you call for to help you look after your loved ones. So I'm actually very intrigued to talk to them today, because I was wowed to know a Zambian, my own, he's behind this. So it's quite amazing. And I'm happy to have on board today. So with no further ado, let me bring her on. So help me welcome Auntie Maureen Bweupe, and she introduce herself and tell us more about her service. So I know it's good morning in there. So good morning to you and good afternoon to all.
Good morning, good afternoon, and I just say hello to everybody where you are watching us from. My name is Maureen Bweupe, and I'm located in the United States of America, Connecticut, and I'm the founder and CEO of Mapalo Sita Cares. There are two things here. We have Mapalo Sita Cares LLC in the United States, which is under the website. Now we are talking about Mapalo Sita Cares Zambia Limited, which is an institute in Zambia. So let me just say there, and I just want to say thank you so much, Maria, to have us here. And at this moment, I would just love to, before I say anything, this was on my heart. I just want to say it's a privilege and an honor to be found here and talking after what I've gone through. I just want to pass my respects to the people who have lost people with COVID. That is something very real to me because I went through it and I'm just recovering. And thank God that I'm here to talk about how we can help with Mapalo Sita Cares.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your testimony about, because this pandemic has really affected people differently. And I'm glad to hear that you're well and you're doing well and continue healing and getting better as well. So, and thank you for coming on the business chat with Maria, as this wouldn't have been possible if you were not here. So thank you so much for giving me the time to come on the business chat. And before we continue, I am going to bring on Inonge Musanda. I hope I pronounce it right. She is based in Zambia. She is part of the Mapalo, and she will introduce herself and tell us what she does for Mapalo Sitters Cares Givers in Zambia. Welcome, Inonge. Good evening to you, because I know in Zambia now it's 5 o'clock. So good evening to you.
Good evening. Thank you so much. I'm Inonge Musanda, based in Zambia, Ndola City. I'm the administrator for Mapalo Sita Care. I also deal with sales and marketing. Where I go on board to market Mapalo or the caregivers we train at Mapalo Sita Care. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much for coming on board, and it's really a pleasure to have both of you today. As you know from what I've said, I met Auntie Maureen through a friend who wished me happy birthday, and that's how I met her. And through that, I end up sort of, Googling about her and find out that she does Mapalo Sita Cares. And when I researched into it, I found out she was the only one in Zambia who was out there. So I was quite impressed on that and impressed with the service that you provided. Hence, you're on here today. So today it's a day I want you to share with the Zambians in the diaspora to know the type of service you provide to those who come abroad or those who live in Zambia. So if you can start with you, Auntie Maureen, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, please. So who you are and your background so people can know about you.
Like I said, my name is Maureen Bweupe, and I'm the founder of CEO of Mapalo Sita Cares. I'm a businesswoman who started from a long time ago. And I'm a person who, if I start something, I really want it to be, I want to achieve it. I want to have it. I want to see it done. I was born in Kitwe Central Hospital, and I grew up in Kafue. And a lot of people who are seeing me, I found a lot of reconnections on Facebook with the people in Kafue. And from there, when I got married in Kafue, I was still doing business. It's like something which I grew up with. My father was a partly a businessman in Kafue where we had stores. And I started learning how to do business from there. I got married. I never depended on my husband's money. Even if he brought, I would like to have my own thing done. And I grew up as a hustler. I can say I grew up, I've never stayed without doing any business. It hasn't been easy. I've never been rich. I've never held millions, but all the time I just want to go on and see that I achieve that which I want to. Um, when I started the journey of who I am, I remember very well. At one time, I started as a realtor in McKinney from nothing. I stayed in McKinney and I was going restaurant to restaurant, meeting people who want to buy a home, who want to do what, until I found myself with an office at Sitwe Plaza. And I'm told now that there is no more Sitwe Plaza. I've not been there since I've been going to Zambia. And my business grew and my ideas started growing. And I found myself having a chance where I had to migrate from Zambia to here. I wanted to forget one thing. This is very special to me. I'm a mother. I have children. I've not adopted any. I have children. And I'm a grandmother too. Lest I forget when I get excited in talking of who I am. I have very good and dependable children, very respectable, very respective. And I know they're watching me right now. So I migrated to come to America in 2006 after losing my mother. My mother died with stomach cancer. And before she died, I took care of my mother. And she died in my hands. I remember very well, it was a very moving thing where I didn't want my mother to be taken anywhere. I wanted her to be with me because it's like I didn't finish working with her. I didn't finish to take care of her. I still wanted to bath her. I still wanted to dress her. I felt, Mom, how can you go now? You know, I was so used. It was 3 years with Mom in my house. So when I came, after she passed, 9 months later, I found myself in the States of America. And the first job which I was given was an elderly lady, same age as my mother, 74 years old. And she had a hip dislocation, she had dementia, and she had a very bad bed sore. And when I went there, they told me, this person, you can never handle her because with the confusion of her mind and everything she does, it's been a very tough case to take. So I said, I'll try. In my mind, I got so excited, I even gave a testimony. I said, I took care of my mother. I used to do this with my mother, but we didn't have the diapers, we didn't have this. I used the chitenge. So I was excited to start that. And when I started, the husband saw the difference. That lady had just come from a home care, a facility, and I started washing her. Every morning I went there, cleaned her, worked on the bed sores. I wasn't trained then. I was just doing what I know.
What you learned from your mother.
Yes, what I learned with an experience of taking care of my mother. And the husband was so impressed with me. He says, oh my God, where have you been? Because when she sees you, she doesn't even get excited, yell or throw up things. She's just like, come and sit next to me. So it was easy to work with her. And after a year, her wounds were healed, and they told me she has to go back to the nursing home because their husband, it was too much work for him. They were elderly people. So we took her back to the nursing home, and they told me, oh my God, why can't you join us? Because this case, we know about her. She's not an easy case, but you've managed. The wounds have healed, healed, and there you are. Can we give you something like personal care here? Then I said, I don't have any paperwork. I can't. I'm just doing this out of passion. So they said, please, when you're ready, come back to us. We really like your services. And please come and check on her. And I used to frequent that place. And that's how I started working in America. I worked the other case, not elderly care. I found myself doing housekeeping. And when I cleaned, they said, oh my God, how can you kneel and you're mopping? We have mops here. I said, no, I want it really to be, I want to feel it clean. And the mop, I shouldn't mop. And then I see the mop dirty, then I know I'm not doing the good job. So wherever I did the housekeeping in New York, they liked me. I cleaned the windows, the ceiling. I did all the dusting, the frames. I was excited because the money I was seeing, I wasn't seeing it in Zambia. So I started saying, oh my God, this is good. And I worked to perfection. And later I found myself saying, okay, I should change. I want to find something closer to where I live because I would travel like 2 hours going to a job and then coming maybe later. Sometimes I would do a live-in job. And I just said, let me find something close. And I came closer to a person who knew how I could go online and apply for a job. So I applied for a job online, put up a profile, and within no time I found a job. But that profile, which was on the website, attracted a lot of people who were still applying on my page to say, we still like you. We like your profile. We like the way you do your things. You know, we want you. Then I would say, I'm so sorry, but I can get you a fellow Zambian who can work the way I work, because where we come from, we clean our homes every day. We make sure every corner is clean every day. So they were excited, and that's how I started giving my Zambian friends, those who came, those who were there, extending the job to the people who applied on my profile. And later somebody tipped me and says, Maureen, why can't you just get even a $10? You're giving people jobs for free. I said, no, I'm not. I didn't pay anything. I even canceled the subscription. Then they said, no, still more. You have at least get something. These people are working. So it's like, that's how I started my business. And my idea grew. I went on that website, put a profile for people. I would advertise, give me something. I would go and apply for you. I'll put a profile for you. So a lot of Zambians, that's how they've come to know me. I never met them in person. A lot of them, I've never met them in person. We'll talk on the phone, they'll give me, and then I would look for jobs for them. And Maureen came up. Oh, Maureen the agency in Connecticut. And later, in 2012, I said, this is growing and I'm getting excited. Even Jamaicans, Ghanaians would come. When I lived with my niece in New York, they would even come and line up. They one-on-one, they come in and I talk to them. And I told them, you shouldn't look like this. You know, I was just trying to put up some class to them as they went to work. Unfortunately, I fell and I ruptured my ligament on my knee. And I think that's where my business had to shake. I couldn't sit on the computer. I couldn't do much. And then I said, I cannot just stop. I was having a little income coming in. $26 for me was a lot of money. And when they get
money
the job,
that time,
they'll get the job and they give me half this week, half next week. I felt, oh my God, I'm losing my business here. So with the thinking and what I said, why can't I make a website like the other one? So there I went, I made up a website in 2016. The website was done, but even my finances couldn't help. But as my ideas grew, I thought I needed a partner. I needed somebody who is a learned person, who knows how to do administration. You know, somebody in admin, somebody who's going to make sure that I get what I want to get. I tried to look around, advertised myself. It didn't work.
Right.
But I found somebody who we agreed and we registered, we put an LLC. My vision kept on growing. Even if I had a website, I felt I had to do something more.
Right.
That's when it came now, after 10 years in America. After 10 years in America, I came up with an idea. I came up with an idea when I went to Zambia. I found that I had seen the difference, seeing Americans and seeing the Zambians. There was a lot of need. I had a sick mother in Zambia, my aunt. We call them mothers. The young sister to my mother becomes a mother to me.
Right.
So when I visited that place, I saw the need of her being taken care of like I do when I'm in Zambia.
Right. Okay. This is it. Okay.
We should also take care of the people like I do it in America.
Right.
And when I looked at my mom, I even said it. I said, you know what? The bed is too high. She needs to be this. She needs to be that. And that, I think, is where my desire to see that elderly care should be started in Zambia. Elderly care should be taken up, because it's not just in America. Even Americans, it's not because they have money. It's because they have a passion. Yeah. And when I saw that, I said, I'm not going in because I want money. I'm going in because I have a passion. I've seen how I took care of my mother. Instead of having ichtenge to wrap her over and do whatever, now we have diapers and everything. Why can't I show this to the Zambians? Why can't I share that which we have? So looking at it, it was very, very difficult for me. And I think I'll continue from there. Maybe somebody can talk. I'm turning a little emotional.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from what you've said, what you're saying is you started working in the care sector yourself, and that came through helping your own mother. So yes. When you started in the industry, you had experience, but because of the love you had for your mother and the work you did for your mother, that gives you experience, and the job you were doing with the clients, the family were happy with that service. And then through your own experience, a lot of clients started asking for you, but because you were one person, you couldn't be in all these places. You had to give this job to other Zambians who were in America at the time looking for work, or whether there was any Africans, any Black who were in America looking for a job, you were passing on these jobs to them.
Yes.
Okay, so where did the idea come? So when you went to Zambia, after you started working in the care, when did the idea of you setting up a Mapalo City Care Zambia come from? So did you then incorporate the idea and took it to Zambia? Or did you go to Zambia, researched, and found out that people are looking for this service, but they don't know where to go to get help from? So how did it start for you in Zambia?
Actually, in Zambia, let me just say, when my first time to go to Zambia was 2016, after 10 years living in America. I had never been to Zambia until after 10 years. And I think that is why I had to notice those things, that this was missing. If my mother is sick like this, we can do this and we can do that. And then looking at the families, I looked at my cousins, I looked at their children, I looked at my sister who was involved closely to my mother, how busy they became to attend to mom, you know, and she wasn't okay because she had a stroke and she had a high blood pressure, and she was in the village. And I looked at that, I said, you know, if a person like me has been trained in Zambia and then assigned to that job, then my sister wouldn't be like frequenting, going there. My other sister won't leave the city to go to the village and take care of my mother. We can assign somebody, and the monies we can put up some, you know, just ideas started coming. And I looked, I said, I think we can do this. And I started sharing. From there, I started sharing about why can't we do this? But every time I talked about it, people just shun me and say, she's dreaming. This is Africa. But I didn't want to accept to say, this is Africa. I wanted to say, this is Zambia. I'm a Zambian. I know how to work. I know what I can do. I lift up men in America, cleaning them, making sure they're okay. If they have wounds, I make sure they heal. Why can't I do it in my own country? If they can't accept me as a woman, let me put there a man who can help. Because too much is happening where they even quarrel, families quarrel. No, it's
Who's gonna look? Yeah, it's true.
You know, but if you assign somebody,
if your job is too much,
if you assign somebody who you agree to say, let's put up this little amount and let's see somebody who can be, and that's when I said I should put Mapalo there. Because Mapalo, when I just came into America, I gave myself this name Mapalo. It means a blessing. I saw myself blessed because the way I came to America was a miracle. I never intended to come to America. I never dreamt, but it happened in a short time. So I said, Mapalo should come back to Zambia and be a blessing. So from there, ideas started coming in. I would give it to this one, give it to that one. It's been hard. It's been a hard walk, but thank God here we are.
But it has paid off. So I'm going to bring on Inonge, who will give us more an insight into the Zambian side. So Inonge, if you can kindly tell us about what Mapalo Care is from the Zambian perspective, because you are based in Zambia. So tell us what you do for Mapalo and what exactly does Mapalo do for people who live in Zambia and for us, people in the diaspora. What service can you offer us, please?
Okay. Thank you once again. I'm Inonge Msanda from Zambia, a mother of 4, 2 girls and 1 boy. I work for Mapalo Sita Cares. The way I found myself at Mapalo Sita Cares, there was an advert on Facebook. That's how I applied there online, and I was picked. I trained for Mapalo Sita Cares for 1 month theory and then 1 month practical, of which we did our practicals at Mitanda Home of the Aged in Ndola, where we did practical in taking care of the elderly, some who had dementia, some who had sugar, some who had stroke. After my training, I was picked by Mapalo Sita Cares to work for them because I was one of the students in the test intake. We were the 6 of us. I started working for Mapalo Sita Cares in June last year. I did marketing for Mapalo because since it was new in Zambia, the issue of caregiving is not well known in Zambia, I can say. It's more common in the United States, UK, but here in Zambia, it was new. So I was employed in that area where I would go flat out in the field to sensitize people of what Mapalo Sita Cares does. I used to give flyers, but it was not an easy journey because for you to tell people and convince them to We do caregiving courses, trainings. It was very hard. I can say here in Zambia, when you've got an elderly person, you take care of that person, you as family members. So it was a very, very difficult journey, whereby you reach out to people, maybe one or two would say, oh, we'll come, and later on, they don't come. 3 months later, I managed to enroll 4 students, of which 3 managed to graduate, and then 1 dropped out. The other intake finished. They were taken for Mitanda Home of the Aged because we are partners with Mitanda. When we do our lessons in practical, that's in theory, that's where we go for practicals. What we've learned, we have to do do it in practice, on how to take care of the elderly, on how to bath them, treating pressure sores, changing diapers, give them mobility aids, because there are those who are very sick, they can't walk, so we used to do that. And then those 3 graduated. Again, it was a challenge. So I went flat out into the field. The previous intake we had 15 students, of which 11 graduated. People came to know Mapalo Sister Cares as we were sensitizing them. As at now, Mapalo Sister Cares is on the peak because people have gotten to know Mapalo Sister Cares. We've had clients. We have one client who stays in the US. She hired a caregiver to take care of her mother in Mufrila. This lady has got BP and she forgets to take her medication. So that's when a caregiver comes in that part, where you remind your client to take medication, you remind your client to do the things they've stopped doing, because when somebody becomes an elderly person, it's a very big challenge. They'll forget about themselves. The things they used to do when they are young, they stop doing those things. So as caregivers, we are there to help them, to give them help and needs they need at that time. And we have another client who has stroke, and he has an amputated leg. He's on diapers and he moves on a wheelchair. We also have a caregiver from Mapalo Sister Care taking care of that client. As at now, we are having students at Mitanda doing their attachments. There are 17 of them. So as you can see, from the time we started, we were 6. The number declined to 3. And then again, it rose high to 15, 11, 17. As Mapalo Sister Cares, we are here to give help to those who are in need, because the services we give are so professional by the trained caregivers with the knowledge they acquire from Mitanda, as in practical. For now, for last week, Friday, 11 students graduated and they were given certificates from Mapalo Sister Cares. And I'm one of the members of staff who go flat out in the field to sensitize people on Mapalo Sister Cares and the services we offer. We are based into caregiving, housekeeping. We also train nannies and gardeners. For those who want to travel to Zambia, for example, they want to come to Zambia on a holiday or on a vacation, they can come to Mapalo Sister Care and hire one of our caregivers. And those who've got parents who are not able to do things they used to do for themselves when they were energetic, they can also come to Mapalo Sister Care and hire one. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nonge. That was amazing. That was very informative, very insightful about how you talked about the service. I love the fact that you talked about the training that you received before you actually started working with them. The fact that you received the theory to give you the knowledge, and the fact that you received the practical to actually apply the theory into practice. And that's so amazing. And I'm also happy to hear that your service is extended to so many clients. It's not only the elderly, it's people with other problems. So that's amazing. And to know that this service is in Zambia, it gives people, especially us abroad, who got parents back home who are older. It's nice to know that I've got a service I can call on, and I know they could take care of my parents. Not that because living abroad, as you know, is not as easy. Like now with this COVID-19, to travel in UK at the moment, we can't travel international. So it's been banned to travel until after June. So imagine if I had a parent that was ill, who would I call to look after my parents? And now we have you guys. So I'm really, really impressed with the way Mapalo is doing things. So before we continue, I am going to bring on Elion Mwenda, sorry, I do apologize, to also tell us about how he joined Mapalo, what he does, and what more he can tell us about Mapalo from his own perspective as well. So if you please help me welcome Elion Mwenda, please. Hi, Elion.
Thank you
Good
very
evening
much.
to you. Good evening to you. How are you?
Hi. I'm okay. How are you?
Very good. I know we met yesterday, and today we meet again.
We meet again. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on board. As you heard, Inonge was telling us a little bit about Mapalo City, Zambia, and she was telling us from her own perspective how she joined Mapalo, what she does, and how many people have been trained through Mapalo. Because from what if I can recall, please correct me if I'm wrong, she said 11 people have graduated through Mapalo, and that's amazing. To hear 11 people have graduated. So we would like to hear from your own perspective, what is Mapalo, and what do you do for Mapalo, and what can you tell the audience about Mapalo status from your own perspective as Mapalo member, please?
Thank you very much, Maria. To start with, my name is Elion Mwenda. I'm 30 years old, a father of 2. And I'm a trained teacher, and also I have a law degree, and I think that's what makes me able to perform at Mapalo. Currently, I'm administrative manager. I manage all the projects for Mapalo. I'm the one that ensures that all the projects that Mapalo embarks on go on smoothly and are executed timely. And I also ensure that the training that Inonge was talking about, the quality of the training, the curriculum itself, and the professionalism, the ethics of our caregivers, even before they go out into the field, I have to make sure that they meet the standard, and not just the local standard, because we are targeting not only the local population, but as you heard Inonge explain, if you are planning to visit Zambia, we want to make sure that our caregivers are well trained to meet the standard that you expect from Mapalo. So basically, my job at Mapalo is to ensure that all those projects are executed properly. And if you like, you can think of me as somebody who screams at people to get things done. And let me also mention, before I go further, talk about Mapalo, that the vision that the CEO has is the one that drives, I think, all of us to, when you see somebody with a passion, you see someone with a vision, you see someone with, a dream, it inspires you to be part of that. And I'll be honest with you, that dream has inspired a lot of them, of which I'm one of those people who's been inspired by the CEO. And at Mapalo, I think that's the spirit that we have, both for staff and also for our students. And that's what gives us the energy. So at Mapalo, what I do is to make sure that right from the beginning, when we enroll a new student, up to the time they graduate, when they go in the field, we have to do follow-ups to make sure that where they go, they receive and they behave and they deliver according to the expectation of the client. And talking about what Mapalo does, I can't put it any better than what Inonge has already explained. As you have heard from the start, it has been a journey. And I'm proud to say that at this point, we are able to see the future. We are able to see where we've come from 3 students, and where we are going, which we cannot even estimate at this point how many numbers we may have. And that's a very inspiring journey that we've had. We are not at the peak yet, but we are going there. And this is a journey that I'm sure everybody would want to be part of. And you may wonder why the success in such a short space of time that we've been in existence. The professionalism and also the level of our understanding in this field. You know, when you understand what you do better than anyone else, it attracts people it gives people confidence to deal with you. And at Mapalo, we understand what we do. We understand the need for a caregiver. We understand how a caregiver is supposed to behave. We understand the difference between a caregiver and a housekeeper. And even if you yourself as a client come to us, you have no idea what you want, whether a caregiver or a housekeeper, you just tell us what your needs are. We'll be able to sit down with you, guide you step by step. It's because we understand very well the nature of our job. And exactly that's what makes people, that's what drives people to Mapalo. And that's what has contributed to our success in such a short space of time. That's what drives the team, and it keeps us going. I can promise that moving at the pace we are on right now, great things are yet to come from Mapalo.
From what you've said, so you having the teacher background, do you think that helps in training or putting the training into perspective? Because like you said, the field you're in is a field that doesn't need to be rushed. And I'm glad you did say you're doing well, but you're doing it slowly. It's very good, because this is a field you can't really rush to do it too fast or to grow too big. Your staff need to be trained to a professional standard. Because if you give your staff a public person who's got dementia, need to be trained professionally to understand what they're going into, the type of work they're going to be doing. So do you feel like your teaching has helped in putting this training in place? Because I know you said you're the one that's more like the shouting person, but not really the shouting.
The teaching qualification, I would say it's a very big advantage on my part, because I understand that from a teaching perspective, there are a lot of things that a person may not understand, even if they may be ready to work. But when you sit down with that person, you coach them, you train them, you properly equip them with the knowledge, and then you put them out in the field, they will be able to deliver. So I think yes, to answer your question, yes, it does. And even at Mapalo at the moment, we have people who have teaching experience and teaching qualifications, and we've engaged those people to train our caregivers at the professional level. So it is we have our own in-house trainers who are qualified teachers. We don't want to pick on the street anybody, as long as they have or they've worked before as caregivers, or they purport to have the knowledge. What we want is to have a professional touch to everything that we do. We have dedicated teachers who are qualified and properly trained to impact knowledge on our caregivers. So yes, to answer your question, the teaching experience, the teaching part, the fact that you have a teaching qualification is a big bonus to Mapalo.
No, fantastic. No, I'm glad to hear that. And just to ask another question, if I can start with you, Mr. Bweupe, please. So what type of service, I know you mentioned to do with housekeeping, you mentioned to do with caregivers. Could you break it down for the audience watching? When you talk about housekeeping, what is your definition of housekeeping that Mapalo provide to the Zambian, the diaspora, to the Zambians in Zambia? What is housekeeping service, please?
So at Mapalo, I'll break them down in three parts. We have caregivers. We also have housekeepers, and we also have gardeners and maids. And beyond that, we also offer consultant services. On the part of caregivers, these are not ordinary people who are going to come and attend to one item. These are people who are trained both medically, and they have the skills to even attend to certain emergencies. These are people that have the skills to even attend to people who may even not be attended by a hospital. For example, you may have your sick mother who is admitted at the hospital, and you need you yourself are busy, and you need some extra, so you need someone to keep your mother company. That person obviously needs to have some basic medical knowledge. That's what we do at Mapalo when we talk about caregivers. These are people who also have skills to deal with people with special needs. People who may not even be able to take care of themselves. And then when you talk of housekeepers, these are not people that in Zambia, especially in the context of Zambia, this term can easily be confused with a maid. All right, these terms can easily be confused with a maid. But I want you to understand that when we talk about a housekeeper from Mapalo, these are people who are professionally trained to look after your home and everything that goes on there. So, for example, if you are going away and you are worried about the welfare of your children while you are away, come to Mapalo. We give you a housekeeper who is going to take you. Your children will not feel your absence. They will not feel the impact of your absence, because this person is trained to look after your children as if you yourself were there. That person will sit down with your children, do homework with your children, prepare meals for them, make sure that they don't go to bed hungry, bath them, and treat them just as if you yourself were there. So that is the difference when you look at Mapalo care sitters and any other service provider that may be there in this field. There is a sense of professionalism with us. There is a sense of professionalism. And I also mentioned the third part of consultants. This is where you are not sure whether what you want is a caregiver or a housekeeper. You come to Mapalo Sitter Cares, we sit down with you, listen to your needs, and assess exactly what is it that you may need. If it's a housekeeper, for how long? If it's a caregiver, what is the nature of the emergency? What is the nature of care that is needed? Is it medical related? Is it a social problem? Is it just care? Or because, especially when we talk about elderly care, these are people that may not display physical symptoms of, their mental issues, or their health issues rather. But you need someone who is present, who is sensitive enough to notice that this person at this particular time needs this. This person at this particular time may need this. Even just the company, the fact that there's a familiar face, there's someone who cares enough to be around that person, chat with them, spend time with them, give them a glass of water when they need to, remind them to take their medication. That alone is a greater part of someone's life. So that is the whole idea about Mapalo, that sense of professionalism, to be there for you whenever you need to.
No, that's excellent. Inonge, would you want to add on to that, please? From your own perspective?
Yes, thank you so much. Like what Mr. Mwenda said, in terms of care, not everyone can care for somebody. For example, somebody who has not been trained doesn't have those qualities of taking care of somebody. Why am I saying so? When you go through training, one, your behavior obviously is going to change. Your character is going to change. Everything in you is going to change because you are trained. For example, I've never been to school on how to take care of somebody who's sick. I'll be shouting at that person. I'll be not giving care as that person needs care. Now, if I go to school, I'm trained. One, they'll teach me how to take care, how to be polite, to have love, because care needs the heart. If you don't have the heart, you can't take care of anyone. So if you are trained by Mapalo Sitter Cares, Mapalo is going to teach you all the qualities of the caregiver, because it takes somebody to have qualities. If you don't have those qualities of a caregiver, you can't take care of the elderly or the sick.
I think,
Thank you so much.
yeah, but I think even in the UK, they call them the six C's, which are care, compassion, communication, courage, commitment. You know, because without these, you wouldn't really take care of somebody. You need to have the compassion. You need to be able to communicate. You need to be able to care. You know, and and that's what I'm loving, because if you can see from the comments from the audience, this is from Sister Edith. It says it's a great job. We need this service in Zambia. It's a service so much needed. And if you look at this other comment from Cynthia, it's a fabulous service. There was a gap in the community. May the Lord bless you all for this service. Well done to the team. Wasanta Twatotela. So this is a service that people are happy to see it's happening. You know, so the service you're providing, like for me, from the moment I spoke to Auntie Maureen and I heard about the steps, I was so impressed. Like, wow, this service is in Zambia. This is amazing. So from my own perspective, so how would you personalize my caregiving for me? So for example, I'm a mother of 2. So when I'm coming to Zambia, I plan to come with my 2 kids, and I might need a housekeeper to help me. How can you personalize the service for me? Any one of you could speak, please. So how does Mapalo caregivers personalize that care according to my needs?
When you are planning to visit Zambia, I think long before you even arrive in Zambia, you will obviously communicate with us via our Facebook page. And as soon as we get hold of your intentions to visit Zambia, we'll begin the preparations for you. Right away, we'll send you the application form that you fill in. And then from the application form, we'll be able to assess exactly your needs. If you mention that you have 2 kids, we are going to prepare somebody who is going to take care of those kids. And then obviously from the application form, we may also be told how long you plan to visit Zambia. So it may be for 2 weeks. It may be for a week only. It may be for a month. We are going to arrange caregiving based on the duration of your visit to Zambia. And obviously, you need some time to move around when you visit Zambia. You need someone to look after your children. And that's somebody, this is an important part. That somebody doesn't have to be somebody you can just pick from the street. Yeah. Because remember, these are kids we are talking about. You need somebody who is sensitive enough to sense their needs at any point when you are not around. Suppose a child picks up a stick of matches and starts a fire. Okay? What do you do? Some people will panic and run away, and you are leaving a child alone. Mm. But when you come to Mapalo, those are some of the emergencies and the dangers that you are going to avoid, because our caregivers are properly trained to handle such matters. It's like the mother hasn't even moved; she's there with them, even if you are away. So that is one of the advantages. So before you even start coming to Zambia, visit our page and make appointments with us. We make arrangements. By the time you arrive, we may even have to recommend proper accommodation for you, some transportation, so that you make everything easier. That is all by Mapalo. So we are there for you right from the start up to the time you decide to go back to the UK.
Fantastic. Inonga, you want to add on to that, please? And then after Auntie Maureen, please.
Okay. In the question asked about personalizing, there are terms and conditions we have for Mapalo Suita Care. There are forms you have to fill in where there are some rules and the payments you have to make to Mapalo Suita Care for you to hire a caregiver for Mapalo.
Auntie Maureen, if you can just add on to that, please. When her reception comes back, I think it's cutting off.
Yeah, I just want to say, you see the team I have.
Hello?
You see the team I have and what the Lord has done, and looking at it, answering the question which is at hand. It's already straightforward. we are on Facebook. On Facebook, people say, Maureen likes talking about Mapalo, 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 but it's because I know it's a working team. So reach us on the page. Tell us exactly like what Mwenda Inongia have said. Know about our payments. Know how you can qualify to have a potential caregiving person for your children. Know it before you even reach. That is also a very brilliant thing to know and to understand that when I land, I know where to take my children. Than reaching Zambia and then you say, well, yeah, can you go and find out from that med center? And then that med center, which is very different from the way we do our things, our students, our caregivers, our team, we know them. That's why we want to assign you with such a person. We've lived with them for 4 months. They've been with us. So we know who is who. And like you reaching Zambia and go and pick up somebody from there, they don't even know because she just came maybe yesterday and it's a potential way of making money. That is something which we want to make a difference. That we should know who we are taking so that if we are confronted, we even know that we even did our background on this person. We know who they are. They have their fingerprints. The police can even bear witness with us and say, yeah, Mapalo is, this is a student from Mapalo. They won't run away with your children because they are traceable.
Yeah.
We even have references. We don't just engage them like that. We make sure they have 2 referrals who we reach out to get the background of those people before we engage them in our class. So you are safe when you come to Mapalo. We'll personalize and we are going to make sure that you are okay. Our service is perfect. On that subject, I'll just end. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and
let me also add on what
Inonga and Elion as well. You had to say, what type of screening do you do? Because I know Auntie Maureen has touched on it, but from Inonge and Elion, please, if you can speak on the Zambian side, what type of screening and training do your staff receive before they're placed with patients, parents, or children? If you can hear me, because I know there's network problem.
I can hear you, and I'm glad you asked that question. Are you able to hear me? Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question. It's actually one of the areas that we prioritize so much. We put so much value on the character and also the background of every person that we engage. As a caregiver or even staff, we inspect, we screen, and we follow up on every little detail that they provide in the form. We don't just end on the forms, the information they've provided in the forms. We follow up to confirm and verify every fact that they've provided. That is very important to us because our reputation is also at stake. You must understand that our clients come to us because they trust that we are going to provide somebody of a sound mind, somebody who is professionally trained, somebody without even a criminal record. Some may even specify that I don't want anyone with a criminal record. So the burden is on us to make sure that every person we engage,
He's gone. The network challenge. Can I see? I think the network is gone. We can hear him. Continue on that one, Inonge.
In terms of security, when we enroll our students, we make sure we have to follow where they stay. I do that physically, and then we also take police reports. Despite the information they've given us, like what Mr. Mwenda said, but we go physically to their places to see where they come from, in the fear of them stopping work and going or disappearing or taking some properties. So the fear of that, we take some police reports and go to their places physically to see where they come from.
Mwenda?
My apologies. My network was interrupted. Yeah, I think to just add on what Inonge said, we don't rely on the information provided in the forms. We want to verify and make follow-ups because, as I mentioned, what is at risk is our reputation. Clients come to us because they trust that we are going to provide somebody who is professional, somebody who is not going to cause problems with them. So that is a priority for us. We have to do the screening part carefully. And this is the part that we don't do shortcuts. And I can promise you this, when you come to Mapalo, have faith that the person, trust that the fact that you are coming to Mapalo, the person we are going to give you to care for your loved ones is properly trained and has no criminal record. And if you may have any problem with them at any given point, Mapalo is still always with you. All you have to do is just report, and we'll make follow-ups. If there is need, we even swap the caregiver, give you somebody you can even get along with. Okay, what we discipline or retain that person for further training. So, like I said, when it comes to screening, that is our priority. We have to make sure that it's done properly to safeguard the reputation of Mapalo Sitter Cares.
And on that one, I can say this is exactly what happens here, because when people say this is done for America, this is America, even as I work as a caregiver here, my employers, they know where I am. If I change my address, I should notify them because they have to trace me. And the first job which I got, the one I talked about, the one I got online, my boss had to come personally, physically. He had to come home, look at where I reside and what I owned, who I was, making sure it goes, it is the same as the one which I provided on the website. I was going to take care of their child who was a month old, and that child grew up. I left that job when the child was 7 years and the young brother was 4 years old, you know, and I had to pass it to my elder sister who believed in that she is the one who trained me to be who I am. She can do a better job, maybe even better than I can do. So with the faith they had in me for 7 years, I provided my big sister, and I had to enter into full-time caregiving for the elderly because that's where my passion is. And when I hear that that is happening in Zambia, like when I visited Zambia in November, these people who were graduating on Thursday, it was so emotional that I saw them coming in, and I, interacted with them, and I saw how it was built, and seeing them telling me and talking to me, Madam, even when you were sick, Madam, we were praying for you. See what you have done to us. We are now, trained. We are very happy with you. God bless your ministry. And that's my country. You have potential caregivers in Zambia who are like me. Me, I'm elderly. I'm even losing my strength. They have all the strength to help you. If you want 2 caregivers at a time to make sure they birth your mother, they take care of your mother, they dress her, sometimes dementia, you won't notice it unless a professional person will notice that your mother, it's not what you're thinking. She doesn't just yell. She doesn't just insult. She doesn't have a short temper. It's because she has this problem. And then with the person who is trained, they are going to interact in a very good way. And please allow that come into Zambia. We'll have a facility where they'll be taking them. But for now, welcome us in your homes. We have a lot to give you. We have a lot to give you.
And if I can just come back to Inonge. Inonge had mentioned something about, did you say you physically go to your staff houses, or did you mean you physically go to the client's house? Can you just rephrase on that for me, please?
Okay. I physically go to the client's houses, and then I also visit the houses for the students where they come from in terms of security, because we have to make sure they are giving us proper address when they are enrolling as caregivers for the fear of crime.
Right, okay. And so what about the staff? Do you physically see the staff and visit them as well? Or it's only for the client side?
Yes.
I can add on. I can add on to that.
Please, if you can add on to that.
Yes. When it comes to the safety of both our caregivers and the employers, it's actually a two-way thing. Firstly, we have to make sure that the person we are giving our caregiver we are also concerned about the welfare of our caregivers. We don't want to give a caregiver to somebody who is only going to abuse them, because there's also that element. We need to understand that also. There's an element where somebody comes, they want a caregiver, and we give them someone, and they end up abusing that person. And because this person needs a job, they may not even be open to bring out the abuse. So when you talk about follow-ups, we do that for both sides for the same reasons of safety. We want to make sure that in the first place our caregivers are safe, and we'll go to the places of our caregivers to make sure that everything from there matches up with the information they've provided in the forms, so that we eliminate the risk of crime and also other elements that may come in and bring problems to you. So both sides are safe, and that is where Mapalo comes in. We are actually at the center of things. In fact, if when you visit our profile, even on Facebook or website, you're going to notice that we put ourselves at the center of things. We're actually a platform for both employers and caregivers. For both employers and caregivers. And our role there is to make sure that both sides get what they want and both sides are protected. You get the caregiver that is properly trained, and at the end of the day, the caregiver doesn't come to your house and start misbehaving, but also that the caregiver is protected, that caregiver is paid, and their rights are also respected and appreciated. So Mapalo is actually at the center of things. We play a role of, we are at the center of things. We want to make sure that both sides get what they want, and they're also protected.
And I think that's very important when you put it that way, because I think sometimes people care more about providing the service to the client, that they don't care more about their staff. But in this situation, both sides, it's important that you care for them, because when you train someone properly, you need to make sure the job they're going to do, they're paid for, and they're right and they're respectable. The same way, if you take on a client, you need to make sure the client will follow the rules and look after your staff as well. And I love that. So before we continue, I'm going to add on Verona. Verona, you're muted. I don't know if you can hear me. I can see her, but she's muted. Okay. Oh, can you if you can unmute yourself, please? Network of Zambia. Network. There's always a network problem in Zambia. While we're waiting for her to log on, it's fine. It's one of those things. We'll sort it out one day. So in terms of I know you did mention, say, you train your staff, and did you say you do background check? Did you mention that, and you work with the local police to make sure they're trustworthy and reliable?
Yes, we do. On the screening stage, we have to make sure that we obtain the fingerprints, and those fingerprints here in Zambia, those fingerprints, certified ones, can only be given by Zambia police. And once they give you fingerprints, a hard copy comes to Mapalo, and then a record is stored at the Zambia police headquarters. In an event of a crime, we report that crime. It will be easier even for the police to investigate and easily trace you. So that is one of the.
Okay. So when it comes to your staff, how many clients do you assign a staff? Or can I, in simple, like, what kind of shift do they do? What shift? Is it like an 8-hour shift, 12-hour shift? Is it like morning shift, afternoon shift, evening shift? How do you shift work?
It really depends on the nature, the needs of the client, really. And what is more important is even the volume or the nature of the care that is needed. It may not be the whole day. Maybe somebody just needs caregiving for a period of afternoon when they're not, when their loved ones who look after them is not around. And we'll arrange caregiving based on those hours that we've been provided for. But when it comes to housekeeping, some people, especially in the context of Zambia, you'll find that they want someone on a daily basis, except maybe weekends. But us as Mapalo, we are not too rigid to a schedule. We are flexible to adapt to a client's needs and desires. If they say they want a housekeeper for only once in a week, we are only happy to provide according to that schedule. If they say they want a housekeeper for just 2 hours in a day, we are only happy to follow that schedule. And even all the arrangements, the payment will be designed to follow that schedule of the client. So that's how it is. We are not rigid to a monthly system or a weekly system or an hourly system. We want first to hear from you, the client, so that we serve you exactly according to what you need. If you need a caregiver for only 2 hours, that's what we are going to give you. Even the payment, we are not saying you should pay for a week, for a month. No, you're going to pay for only the hours that care is provided to you. So that we are that flexible.
Okay. And another question I want to ask: how do you maintain consistency in your care staff? By that I mean, what if a staff is ill or on holiday? What happens? How do you cover?
You heard Inonge saying last Thursday we had 11 people who graduated, and before that we had another team of 17. And even at this very moment, we have a team of 15 who are undergoing practicals at Mitanda. All these caregivers are on standby. In an event that one is ill and they are unable to report for work, all that the client needs to do is to report to Mapalo, and right away we are going to get somebody and replace them, so that the client doesn't suffer any gap. So we have a team readily available, most of them even on standby, ready to go for work. And I should also be honest with you that I'm super excited about the graduation we had last Thursday, because it was more than it was more than an announcement, so to say, to the world that actually this is what Mapalo is capable of, and this is the step we are moving at, and these are the levels we are planning to take. So you are expecting more in future. We're just talking about 11, but we are planning more. And if we say 20 graduates in the next graduation, all these people will be on standby to care for you whenever you need. All you need is just make the call. We give you a caregiver. If that person is unable to execute their duties for whatever reason, we are always ready on call to replace that person. Even if it's at midnight, the following morning you receive a new caregiver. That person will be given the attention they need.
And do we get a dedicated point of contact? So let's say, for example, if I come to Zambia and I need a housekeeper, and do I get a dedicated point of contact in case of emergency, or how does that work?
Yes, we have. When at the point of registering, our forms have those details. In case of an emergency, these are the numbers you have to call at whatever time.
Right.
At the point of registering, our forms have those details. And it doesn't matter what time, when you press that call and you explain the nature of your emergency, there will always be a staff on hand to attend to you. Even I must, in fact, that is my job. Wherever you are, you tell us that you have a problem. I will come to you, firstly, to assess the nature of the problem, because you may be reporting that the caregiver we've given you has a problem, and yet what the caregiver is trying to do is to solve the problem that you yourself have. So you may find that, in fact, we have clients who are changing caregivers almost on a weekly or a monthly basis because they don't understand that they themselves or their kids or their environment is actually where the problem is. So you may report that the caregiver we've given you has a problem, but in the actual sense, the environment that is there is where the problem is. So when you report such an issue and I come to your house to assess, I may even sit down with you and advise. It will save no point changing a caregiver because the source of the problem is this. Let's attend to this problem, and then if it doesn't work out, we'll try and swap the caregiver. So there are all those options, but to answer your questions, there is always a staff at hand to handle any nature of an emergency that the client may have at any given point.
Okay, and this question is for Inonga. I don't know if you can hear me. And if you can't hear me, please, Elion, if you can answer it. What characteristics do you look for or do you value when hiring a member of staff? So what kind of characteristics do you look for? So do you have like a tick box of characters of staff you look for? And what would make someone unsuitable to work for Mapalo City case? Both in
yes, we have a tick box, a long one.
So who's going first?
I was saying we have our requirements.
Okay. What? Inonga is gonna say. Okay, go first. Okay. Yeah, please.
Oh yeah, I was saying yes, we do have a list of requirements that we need both for members of staff and for our clients. But we are more concerned about our members of staff because those are the ones who are carrying the name of Mapalo. And like I mentioned, we are more concerned about safeguarding the reputation of Mapalo that we've created. We've worked so hard to create this reputation. So we want to make sure that it is properly safeguarded. So yes, we have a long list of requirements, of which the most important one is character. We want to make sure that the person has the proper attributes to be a caregiver. You yourself told me that in the UK you have a 5CC system, care, compassion, commitment, courage. All those apply even to us here. We don't want to engage someone who doesn't care, who doesn't have a passion for what we do. That is obviously out of the question. We want to engage someone who has those attributes. They are able to care for a person who is not their relative. And that's another important thing. Caring is different when it's your blood, and caring is also different when all you know is the name of that person. But our caregivers, the attributes we are looking for is somebody who is able, who is capable of loving, of being caring enough, even for somebody they only know by name. Okay, that is one of the first, the important ones. But obviously, we are also looking at the criminal element of it, and this is where the screening part comes in. We don't want somebody who has a criminal record or who has a questionable reputation, who has come in conflict with the law at any given point. We don't want somebody. Obviously, when you have those records, you are already discarded as a Mapalo. As a member of staff for us, because we don't want those attributes being transferred to a client, an innocent client. We want to safeguard our reputation as well as the welfare of our clients. I can go on and on about the list of requirements that we need, but those two are the most important ones. In our industry, we want somebody who can care for someone just as if they were their own relatives. And that is what sets us apart, I think. When you look at most of the establishment in the similar field we are in, they don't care about where somebody comes from. They don't care about their reputation. They may come today, get hired, and the following day they are in the field working for somebody. And if you pay attention closely to such arrangements, you will notice that they don't even stay long. It may even be a month, 2 months, and they're out of that place. But I'm happy to even report to you that so far, no client has ever come back to Mapalo and complained within a space of a month. In fact, all the clients that we've had have never reported any serious problem. It's because we make sure right from the beginning that those elements, those requirements are met.
No, that's fantastic. You couldn't have explained it better. I think that's very important because that does matter when you're hiring somebody. In terms of the staff, is there a fee they have to pay to be part of Mapalo, or do you just hire them as normal staff? Is there like a management fee, a setup fee, joining fee, or can anyone apply for a job through Mapalo? How can someone go about applying for a job through Mapalo?
Yes, there is a fee, a minimum fee, and that fee is only for training purposes. Because like I mentioned, right, our priority is the training. We don't want you to come and just register, go back home, and then when a client shows up, we call you from home and you report direct to the client. We don't want that. In fact, to us, that is an element that is not even in our vocabulary. What we want is you come register. At that point of registration, what you are going to pay is the fees for training. So our dedicated trainers will sit down with you, train you. That is for training. They will train you properly. And then when they are certified, that's when they become available for anyone to hire them. So yes, there is a fee, but that fee is for training because that's where our concern is. We want to make sure that when you go out, you have the training, you have the knowledge, you have the skill.
And how can someone who's looking for a job apply to work for Mapalo? If there's a vacancy, how does someone go to look for a job?
Obviously, to start with, we don't just hire anyhow. Obviously, there will be an advertisement, and following that advertisement, you have to respond and you submit your qualifications. We assess those qualifications and then call you for an interview. If there is need for some training, we allocate you to a class, you pay the training fee, you start classes, and yeah. But we don't just hire anyhow. We are very strict on the hiring policy because that's what really matters to us. We want to make sure that we train you ourselves so that we know the knowledge that you have in you before you go to the client.
And another question I want to ask, do you charge a fixed price? So if I come to you for housekeeping, or if someone comes to you to look after their elderly parents, do you charge a fixed price, or are your price, do they change according to the weekend, night, or do they change according to different things?
Yes, we don't have a fixed price because needs will differ, obviously. It may be housekeeping, but the needs, the specifications will differ from home to home. So we're not going to have a fixed price. although we have a base that we cannot go below, especially where caregiving is concerned. We may not go below a certain base, but the price will differ depending on the nature of the need, on the nature of care that is needed. So that's how the prices will differ. I saw Aunt Verona join. I would be happy if she can explain. Yeah, on the training, because
the network is not. I'm trying to. The network is not good. It's not good at all.
Yeah, if you heard me mention that we have dedicated trainers, Aunt Verona is actually one of them. Yes, so I would be happy if she can be on the show to explain.
She's been trying. I've been trying here, but network not good. Network is not allowing. She's been trying. She's really been trying. She's been trying to.
Head teacher.
Oh, she's the head teacher.
She's the head teacher.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, the network is not good. She's coming on, but the network is kicking her out. So I've been trying to see if I can use my phone to fix it, but it's not working. Yeah. Yeah, another question I want to ask. So let's say I want a housekeeper. Am I able to meet my housekeeper or my carer before they start?
Yes, you are entitled to that. We don't want to surprise you with somebody you may not even agree with. So yes, you are allowed to meet your caregiver before they even start. And if you may go with them for a week and you decide that you don't get along, because obviously there's need to get to a personal level with your housekeeper or your caregiver so that they can deliver the best results. So if you feel like you can't get to that personal level that you need with that particular person, maybe for their character or the way they are built, you're free to still come back and ask for someone different, and we replace that person until you find someone you can easily get along with. You can leave things scattered and they'll do the work without having been told, do this or do that. That person will just show up and perform. You come home, you find the home is clean, everything is done, the meals are cooked, the children are bathed, everything is okay. When you find somebody you can get along easily like that, you feel that, okay, now I'm comfortable with that person, you stay with them. But as long as you are not comfortable, you are still free to still come back to Mapalo and request for a replacement. And yes, you are free to meet the person before they start. That is your right as a client. You have the right to request that, let me meet the person first. Although at that point, obviously, we may have reached an advanced stage where you've already signed certain forms, registration forms, and you are just doing the meeting, more of a formality to get to know that person before they report for work at your home, so that they feel welcome. Nancy Nanyangwe, thank you very much. She's saying job well done. It's very encouraging to.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? So while we're waiting, just read the comments. Are amazing. You know, everyone is really pleased with what you're doing, with the work that you're doing in Zambia. Everyone's really pleased. I'm trying to get Verona on. She's on. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear us? Or Zambia network? Why? She's there. She's there. We can see her, but then the network is not strong enough. You just make her come on a bit. Yeah. Inonge, sorry, if you can come on, can you add on to what Elion said about, because I did ask her to say, because I know you do the physical side of visiting the clients to make sure the clients are suitable for your staff. The question I'd ask is, are you the one then who's in charge of making the client meet your staff? Are you part of the meeting process? Or is this you and Elion team?
Okay, I'm part of the staff. When the clients come to a caregiver, I'm also present to make sure that that person gets the right person. And we allow our clients to choose the caregivers we want.
Right, okay, perfect. Another question I just want to ask, this question is to do with are you, do you have the legal required registration? So like in Zambia, are you registered under the Care Quality Commission? How does Mapalo operate on that?
Firstly, maybe I can answer that.
Okay.
Firstly, we need to understand that Mapalo is registered as a company limited by shares. And that is a legal requirement that is required to start operating. And that, that is under the registration of the Companies Act, which is obviously issued by PACRA. So in the first place, we had to register with PACRA to operate as a company limited by shares. That is the first legal requirement. So even when you just enter our offices, you see the certificate displayed, which should obviously tell you that we are properly registered to conduct that business. And apart from that, there's also other statutory requirements, such as ZRA, where for tax purposes, we are properly registered with the Zambia Revenue Authority for tax purposes. And apart from that, we are also registered with the National Pension Scheme Authority, which is NAPSA. And this is a statutory requirement because we need to remit on behalf of our caregivers who are in our employment. And apart from that, we are also registered with several other, we are registered and affiliated with several other entities. You heard Inonge mention that we work closely with Mitanda Homes. That is a working partner, a working relationship that we've established because for them, they concentrate more on assisted living for the aged. And there are also other entities that we are in talks with so that we can partner with them and work together with them. But to answer your questions, Mapalo Sita Cares at the moment meets all the legal requirements to operate this business in Zambia.
Fantastic. No, thank you so much for answering that. Verona, can you hear us now? Oh, we can't hear her.
She's frozen.
Yeah, she's frozen. The next question, just before we finish, is how do people reach out to you? Where can people contact you? So apart from mentioning the Facebook, is there a number they can call? How do people reach Mapalo Sita Zambia?
Those who are outside Zambia, the first point of contact will be our Facebook page. When you visit our Facebook page, we'll obviously ask you for an email address for easy communication and more details such as the forms and other documents that you may need will be sent to you and communication will go on like that. So I want to recommend that if you're outside Zambia and you're planning to come to Zambia and hire a caregiver, the first point of contact should be a Facebook page. You can visit our Facebook page, and for your own information, everything that we are talking about here, you'll find them displayed on our Facebook page. It will even help you have a better understanding of Mapalo before you even decide to engage us. So if you're outside Zambia, use the Facebook page to get in touch with us. But if you are within Zambia, we are on number 6, Petauke Crescent in Ndola, in Kansenshi Ndola. If you can manage to come in person, we are at that address. You'll find us, and you'll find an ever-smiling team there to attend to you. And also, I'll let Inong give out the number you can use to call us on.
We have our office line, and on the flyers, the numbers which are there, 0965 07 37 19 0955 81 47 99. That line is for our director.
So those are the 3 ways you can get in touch with us. But I want to strongly recommend that if you are not in Zambia, go and visit our Facebook page. There are a lot of details there that you'll find, and they will interest you. You get to know more about Mapalo before you even decide to engage us. If you are in Zambia, you can call those numbers that Inonge has given out, or you can visit us in person, which is much better, because then you're giving us an opportunity to interact with you face to face, which is something we value so very much. Come and visit us so that we can have a one-on-one conversation, and that way we can even help you much better, because then we can assess where you are present, what type of care you need, and also advise you best.
Verona.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, could you tell us who Verona is, please? Because we've tried to put her on so people can know that she's behind the training. She's the head teacher, but the network in Zambia has refused to bring her on. The network is not working on our favor. And so I just want you to explain who Verona is so that people can know who she is. So Inonge, if you can start speaking who Verona is and if you've worked with her, and then Auntie Maureen, you can add on to that as well.
Verona Mwaisakilonge is the head teacher for Mapalo Sister Care. She's the one who does the training in caregiving. She does all the caregiving lessons up to the last point where the students are taken to Mitanda. And at Mitanda, she goes there physically to see if at all the students are applying what she taught them into practice.
Okay, thank you so much. Welcome back, Elion. Sorry, we're just talking about who Verona is because we've tried to add her on, and even now she's backstage, but her network is not allowing us to come on. Her network where she is not very good.
Yeah, I mentioned
So we're just trying
that. Verona is one of our trainers, and she's one of the experienced trainers that we have. In fact, we rely on her so much when it comes to training. She's the one who knows the curriculum of Mapalo inside out. She's the one who assesses our students. She's the one who inspects the practicals. Even before the graduation, she's the one who certifies whether they are fit to graduate, whether they are fit to go in the field. I see she's back. Are you able to hear us?
She's back, but we can't hear her. The network
we still can't hear her.
Yeah, the network is not strong enough.
Oh yeah.
The network is not strong enough.
I was just singing praise that she's one of the best trainers we have, and I can safely say without her, Mapalo would have had a very difficult time graduating. Even these 11 students we graduated last week. She holds such a special place, and it's important because Mapalo Sita Cares is still young. And she's there to care for us. She's there to provide the training that we need. And to make it easier, she herself is a well-trained and qualified caregiver. She's a qualified caregiver. And on top of that, she has a teaching
qualification as well.
Yes, she does. So that puts her in a very good place, both for our students and to impact the knowledge, so to say.
It's a shame. It's a shame her network has not allowed us to really speak to her.
Yeah, I can also say something about Verona, and also, you know, when you build a house, you need a foundation. You need a very good foundation. And for Mapalo to be what it is right now, it's because of the good foundation of the people we interacted with, the people who are there. You know, the roots are strong. And I look at Verona, I look at Inonge, very good example to say they just came in like trying, and they found it very inspiring, and they joined the team to be part of it. Verona was at one time a headmistress, a head teacher at a school, and you know those qualifications which she has, and then trained as a caregiver abroad outside Zambia, and then comes in. It was on her vacation when coronavirus struck us. And because of that, she couldn't travel back. She came into Mapalo as a volunteer, working without payment, you know, and she did all she could. Even when she was a student, she was still teaching, trying to help the teacher who was there, who is also not with us here. We have Patricia Msanda, who is a perfect teacher, and she has a model of, I don't know, of a mother. She teaches, she listens, she does things like a mother. Our team, like Mwenda said, it's a smiling team. It's a team of oneness. And when we are together, I felt it in November. When we are together, we don't even feel like, Maureen, you're not educated. I don't even feel that way. They embrace me with my vision. And looking at the qualities which they have, the training they have, I also put myself like, oh, so I'm there. So Verona, Inonge, Patricia, now we have Juliet on the map, we have Mwenda on the map. The team is getting stronger. And to tell you the truth, even if somebody is has a graduate what can I say? Somebody who's from the university and approaches me, Maureen, and when you're not educated, you don't have this. If I can birth something like this, I say glory to God, because it is not by mighty nor by power, but by the Spirit of God Himself. I always talk like that because really, in my own eyes, I was trying to find an administration team which can, which can do this. My children are qualified, but they are busy with their business. They are busy with what they're doing. And now, because they have a good team, they're now guiding. And they say, Mommy, can you raise there? We are doing this. Seeing what Mr. Mwenda has presented right now, seeing what Inonge has presented, if we had Patricia, Juliet, it would just be one voice. So applauding and appreciating Verona, I also have to just put it to the whole team, including my Simon, who's there all the time. I just say, I just say that we are moving on. The vision is big. The vision is large, because we are making up Mapalo. We are preparing Mapalo for a lot of people. Mapalo, we are branding it to become a franchise. We are branding it because we cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone in Zambia. Zambia is large. We want to make sure where we reach, we leave a mark. And that's the vision which I have. Where you reach, where you work, you leave a mark. And if a person comes and says, like, there are people right now telling me, Maureen, we want to come on board. I'm telling them, just hold on. You cannot come in here, but we are branding it. We want you to come and get this vision and sell it and get your own money. Let us make it a franchise. We are the starters. There's some who are working like us, but they're in the background. They don't want to take it out like we are. I'm saying we are not scared. People have told me, why do you advertise all the time? Why do you put, this is too much? No, it's not too much. We want to reach even those who have their parents in the village and they're living in Dola. Somebody's in Mishikishi, sick. There are those caregivers who just want a payment, just a little income for their families. They'll learn and go and take care of your parents. So the thing is, we are branding. Look at the people who are presented here. They are all graduates. They are all professionals. They know what they're doing. I know what I do, and I just had to put it and say, this is the curriculum. This is what we have to do. This is how we have to look. Watch us in 1 year, another 1 year to come after June. We'll be talking of Mapalo in Zambia, expanded to people who will be making it as a franchise on their own and make it their own, but with a picture of Mapalo expanding in Zambia. So we have a vision. We need a nursing home in Zambia. We're needing a facility where we clean our own, we do laundry, we iron for them, we feed them, and the caregivers should be there for them. We want to see where you are and you say, I have my mother in the hospital, like Mwenda was saying. She'll be there for 3 days. There is no one to take care of her. People are dying in the hospital because they don't have personal cares. So when you come to Mapalo, you can get a personal care for your mother instead of complaining and sulking to a person who's caring for 20 people in one time. She cannot be in one place. She cannot be in 20 places in a minute or in 5 minutes. So take a caregiver from Mapalo. We are offering you somebody who can sleep with your parent, who can sleep with your child in the hospital. You are there, you're working. We are extending all these services to you. It's just by experience, I'm bringing this. Don't ask me of what is on paper or certificate. No, ask me of what I have done. Ask me of what I have seen. I have seen people get healed with my own hands. Even with coronavirus. Before I went to Zambia, I was working with coronavirus people. Little did I know that I was going to get it and feel it the way it feels. So if you work with people like that, people who are going to say, I'll stand no matter what. Let me have the EPP supplements so that I can go in, cover myself and take care of these patients. But we are always talking of the staff in the hospital. The staff is not enough. Do your own personal care. Come to Mapalo. We have you. We have you. We're going to be there for you. I'm in the United States, but my team is there and we work like we are together here. So please, we are here for you and we care.
Thank you so much. No, thank you so much for that. And just before you all go, can you just tell us, I didn't ask one question, where in Zambia do you currently cover? And do you plan to expand more? So where in Zambia do you cover in terms of area or town? And do you expand to cover other areas? If Inonge and Elion could please talk on that area, please.
At the moment, our office is in Ndola. But our office being in Ndola doesn't mean we cannot operate in other places like Lusaka. We operate, I can say, countrywide, because it doesn't matter where the request comes from. It doesn't matter where our caregivers are needed. We will be able to provide, even somebody to a living in kind of an arrangement, wherever you may be. You may be in Luansha, Lusaka, Chingola. All you need to do is to call and you'll find someone who is willing enough to travel to you and care for you. So we are in Ndola, but we still provide caregivers countrywide. And yes, as you heard, Auntie Maureen, plans are big. We don't intend to stop here. We intend to expand. And this is only, we can talk again in a year. We'll be talking about a completely different story. We'll be somewhere else. We plan to expand. And I'm sure due to demand, we may have to open an office in Lusaka or in Kitwe. But for now, our physical address is just in Ndola. But we can still provide caregivers countrywide. And the vision is big. We will surely expand.
Can you hear me, Nonge? No, she can't hear me. Okay, so just before we go, hopefully Nonge can hear me, and Elion, you can hear me as well. Give me two reasons why people should use Mapalo Sita Care Zambia. So from your own perspective, please give me two reasons why people from the diaspora and in Zambia should use Mapalo Sita caregivers.
Two reasons.
The first one, I want to take that one, Mr. Mwenda. The two reasons which we can give people in the diaspora to visit Mapalo Sita Care. One, we provide professional
Amanda, can you hear me? The network, okay, the network in Zambia is getting worse now.
I can hear you now.
Okay, because Inonga has been kicked out. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, but I can pick up from where she left. Please. I think she was talking about...
if you can start from the beginning, maybe say what she said again. Sorry,
yeah, she was talking about...
yours.
In fact, I think we share the same reasons. She was talking about professionalism. That is the number one reason why you should come to Mapalo. Okay, it's professionalism. Our caregivers are properly trained to be professional. We are taking it as a profession. We are taking it serious as a profession, just as a doctor would behave, just as a lawyer would behave, just as a trained engineer would behave. That's how we are taking our business as well. We are treating ourselves as professionals. We conduct ourselves as professionals in everything that we do. That is the number one reason why you should come to Mapalo. That sense of professionalism, which is in our caregivers, is what will bring you to Mapalo. And once you have a taste of that, you won't go wrong. You will even give testimony that indeed it is worth it to get a caregiver from Mapalo. And the second one is training. I think that is very important. You need someone who is trained, not only to I know some people may say caregiving or housekeeping doesn't need training, but it does. It does. You need someone who knows how to operate, even simple household equipment. You need someone who knows how to operate those things. You need someone who is trained to handle your children, not someone who can be rough at your children, someone who can be hostile with your children. You need someone who can exercise patience with your children, someone who can be committed enough to abandon their own things and exercise patience and care. Okay, that is another reason why you should come to Mapalo. The training. Our caregivers are properly trained. If, for example, like I mentioned earlier on, in an event of an emergency, you don't need someone who is going to leave your children and cause more disaster. You need someone who can attend to that emergency and possibly put an end to it. So that is the reason why you should come to Mapalo. And I can go on and on and on and on. But I think for now, let me invite those who can manage to visit us. Let's sit one-on-one so that you see some of the things I'm talking about with your own eyes, so that you can give better testimony. If you can manage to visit us, that can even be better, and I'll be proud to sit down with you and chat with you.
No, don't worry. That one is definitely going to happen. That definitely.
I can't wait.
I haven't been to Zambia for a while, so definitely.
I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to coming home. I'm looking forward to coming home. Yeah.
As soon as you
How
come,
are you?
we have to sit
Maria's
down with
arrived.
you. I can't wait. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
no, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. I think Inonge won't be able to come on, and Verona won't be able to come on. I think the network back home is just gone off now. So what are your last words before we go that you'd like to say to the audience? I personally want to say thank you to you both and your team for coming on and talking about Mapalo Sita Cares Limited. Like I said, it's a service that's very, very important back home. As you know, people are getting busy with lives nowadays, are working, moving on, getting on. So sometimes we are forgetting our culture of looking after our own. And Mapalo is kind of supporting that is not taking over, supporting. Let me not put it the wrong way, supporting people who can't look after their family due to work commitment and due to other things, because we all need help. It's not easy. Sometimes it becomes so hard. And to have a service like Mapalo that's professional, make sure their staff are trained and are looked after, it's very important. Someone has put a question here. What's the question? Let me just read the question here. What about people who are not on Facebook? What about people who are not on Facebook? How can they contact Mapalo Sita Caregivers, please? What was the number that you had said again? How do people? There's a question here.
Give the office number.
If you can type the number in chat. If you can type the number in the chat, or you can give it to me.
Yeah, let me type the number in the chat. I think it will be easier. But also, if you're not on Facebook, you can still find us. You can still visit our website.
But the website is an American one. Would you have a Zambian number?
You're not on Facebook. I think our website
on the poster. Is that the number on the poster? The Zambian number. I'll share the.
Yeah, I think the number is there on the poster. But let me just type it in the comment.
Okay, so Judy, I'm going to share this poster here. So this poster here is got the number for Mapalo caregivers. So let me just put it in the comment. If you just bear with me. So Judy, as you asked, this is Mapalo caregivers contact number. So for Zambia, it's 00260760065 or 00260964221 and you can email them at mapalositacares@gmail.com. So there is an email as well. So hopefully you can see the contact details as per screen. If not, please feel free to inbox me and I'll share the contact details and you can follow it up as well. Yeah, I think that's the only question we had. So before we go, what would you like to say to the audience? Any last words you can say, please, so before we go? If I can start with you, Auntie Maureen. You're muted. Can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can start
me?
with you, yeah, we can hear you now, please.
Yeah. Firstly, I would like to say thank you, Maria, for making this visible. I really say thank you. You acted in a short time. I don't know much about you, but here you are. You sound like I know you forever. Firstly, thank you. The second thing I would love to say is thank you to my children who have trusted in me, who have encouraged me, who have supported me mentally even when I don't have the goals and how to do it. And then thirdly, I would like to say thank you to my team, Mapalo. It is not the money. It is not the money why they are there. It's because they have a passion to work with the people. I have a passion. I don't have money. And we are seeing things happen because of the dedication and the commitment to see that we work for the people who cannot manage themselves. That is a burden which I have because I know what I go through when I get sick. I know what I went through when my mother got sick. And I'm just encouraging you, take up Mapalo as a serious thing in Zambia. You can laugh at it, but saving your mother is very important. Someone would say, Mapalo, their caregivers are too expensive. It's because they have a touch of profession. They have a touch of learning. So come to Mapalo and give them that which they need to have so that they can care for your people. The other thing is, thank you so much for my friends who have encouraged me, who have said, we've seen your passion. Go on, Maureen. A friend of mine last night called me from UK and she said, Maureen, I've been there. I've seen and I can't believe this is happening. Thank you for the support, my family. Thank you so much. Let's do this. Zambia, let's do this. I pray that the government is seeing and look at us and say, come to us and ask, what else can we do for you? Because we are a big team. We've trained over 30 people. All have graduated in a small way. Now they are becoming big numbers. Ask us, how can you help us? And we will tell you how we can help you. We really need a teamwork. Zambians, we are here for you. Like our motto, we care. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Auntie. That was emotional and actually very emotional. Thank you so much. Thank you for the kind and sweet words you said. And thank you for really talking about Mapalo in such a passionate way. You know, talking from your heart, really appreciate. And then just before we go, I'll bring Mwenda on. Mwenda, if you can now please tell us as well, last words before we go.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Maria, for having us. It's been a pleasure. And I want to encourage everyone that if you have the needs we've explained here, come and see us so that we can attend to you. And we'll be very happy to sit down with you and exchange notes and share with you our experience at Mapalo and also to be able to help you. I should also mention before I go, because this is one thing that drives me to Mapalo every day, that the passion that we share at Mapalo is something that is tangible. And keeping that in mind, we are making progress. And I'm very happy that the team is very dedicated to seeing progress, and we are growing big day by day. So thanks a lot again, and we look forward. By the time we come back again to such an event, I want to be giving a different report altogether, that we've grown this big and now we are like
Definitely.
this. Yeah,
Definitely.
but thanks a lot for having us.
So thank you to you guys for coming on, and thank you to all the guests for the lovely comments. So just before you go, the guests have the comments are really amazing, brilliant. Keep going. Judy has put this other comment. Thank you for the most informative, insightful, useful. Well done to the team. Keep up the good work. What else they've put again? Truly inspirational. Well done for professionalism, personal care, and home care. Someone else has put as well. Excellent work you're doing. We are right behind you. Job well done, and God bless you. So everyone who's watched, their comments have been amazing. They have been positive. There have been inspirational work. People have said thumbs up, Mapalo care sitters. Thanks for the information. Someone is watching from Zambia, so you've got a lot of support. You've got people pushing you and making you strive. Amazing job, well done, Mapalo. Great job they've put here. We need this service in Zambia. Another one we talked about, a fabulous service. There was a gap in the community. May God bless you for the service you provide. Well done to you and your team. Another comment, excellent indeed, most informative. So all the comments have been positive. This shows how your small dream has grown into a big dream. To be rich, it doesn't have to be always money. To be rich is your happiness. It's the difference you give to the community. It's the difference you make in other people's life. That's what makes you rich. Your happiness is your richness. If it makes you happy and sleep in peace, that's your richness. You know?
Yes.
So don't worry about people say, oh, you don't have, it doesn't matter. Most millionaires I know, or most people I know, most of them, they don't have the education, they don't have the degrees, but they've made it through the passion, through the the vision. It's about the passion and the vision. So continue striving. Like I said, you're not taking the place of us looking after our parents and children. You are supporting us, because some of us mothers are busy working mothers. Our mothers may live far away from us, so we need someone to take care of them while we're still looking after ourselves. So what you're doing is the gap in the middle. So continue doing that work. So Mwenda, I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to come and sign that form and say, hey,
I can't wait to. I can't wait to. We are looking forward.
So the next time you come on, it will definitely be a year. You're going to tell us more, like Maria, the last time we did this communication. Now this is where we are.
Exactly.
So you're definitely going to come back here again to come and give us an update, to tell us how you've gone with the service. And you're giving jobs to Zambians in Zambia. You're creating employment in Zambia. So that's another thing you're looking at. So being rich doesn't mean money. You are making people have jobs. So you're making other people's dream come true. You're making someone have, so be proud of what you've done. So thank you so much to all of you. Thank you for coming on board. So
thank you, Wendy.
This wouldn't have been possible if you didn't come on. So extend my gratitude to Inonge. I know she's been cut off. Extend my gratitude to Verona. Please apologize to her for me. I did try. I tried, but the Zambia network
she would have broken the mirror here. She's the best.
I'll pass.
Please,
I'll do that. Thanks a lot.
And I wish you a happy Easter. As you know, this is the month of Easter, so happy Easter to you. May God continue blessing you. May you continue striving. May God bless you with prosperity, good health, love, and peace.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
London is watching us. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, Bria. May you prosper in this, please. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you. So to all my guests, Facebook, YouTube, thank you guys for watching. As you know, this wouldn't have been possible with you without watching. So thank you, Judy, Cynthia, Edith, Duma, Linda, Queens, Hope, Chisha. If I miss anybody, please know that I am grateful, and I really, really appreciate your time. God bless each and every one of you. Happy Easter.
Happy
And
Easter
see you
to
all.
you.
If you can stay behind for me, please, guys. You stay behind.
Okay.
All right, all right.
All right. Thank you, everybody. So I just want to say thank you, guys. Thank you for today. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. As you know, this won't be possible without your support. So I'm grateful from the bottom of my heart. Let's support our own. So Mapalo, Sita Care, Zambia is Zambian, with Zambian workers, Zambian people, and it makes me proud to be a Zambian, because this is something of our own. It's not taking of a job out of us, it's actually helping us. So contact them. As you heard from them, they're professional, they provide training, they do DBS check, background check, so they're legit, they're registered, they have everything that you need. If you need more information, please don't hesitate to message me, WhatsApp me, and I'll give you more information. So once again, thank you, everybody. Happy Easter to each and every one of you. Thank you.